Hi there. We're now in lesson 3.4 of Unity training for theatre, and we're going to look at audio actors. An audio actor is created exactly the same way as all the other actors. We're going to load an object up. If I'm saying the word actors, forgive me, because that's what we use in Unreal, and I'm always flipping between the two. But actors and objects, same thing. An audio component, right click, audio source, and there we are, it's done. You can see a little speaker icon that shows where it is in the scene. You might see quite a few of these around. And we zoom in on it, you can see it's got a bit of a range thing there. And just like the lights, you can increase that range so it can be heard further around. And we'll come to that in a sec with the 3D sound settings. You've got audio clips, so let's just click on our little radio icon. We already have some audio in our project because we imported all the 3D assets. Let's go for propeller engine. Actually, if I click on that, it will show me where that's saved in third-party standard assets, vehicles, aircrafts, audio, propeller engine, and I get a little waveform here that I can look at and I can listen to it. There we go, sound of propeller. So it's only a few seconds long because it's very typical in games. We create something that goes in a loop. And I think it's a WAV file. It is WAV. So Unity prefers WAV. I have imported MP3s, but WAV's definitely the preference. They're slightly more, take up more space. That's the reason for going for MP3s. They use up a lot more space, but they're much better quality, and Unity just uses them in a much better way. So I've imported that. Now I can loop it, so it just keeps going continuously. I can mute it, and there is a reason for doing that. You might create some code that keeps it muted until you need to hear it, and it turns it on. And you got all these sort of things that you're used to. I don't do sound very much, so you can see how it works. The one that's really interesting here is the spatial blend in 3D. So I've got 3D sound settings. I'll leave that open. And if I move spatial blend from 2D to 3D, you can see this line going up, and that's indicating how much how much of the sound is being picked up by the audio listener. Now the audio listener is usually in the camera. If I have a look, there it is. The audio listener, you can attach it to anything. If I had a, let's say I had a VR controller and I was using it to push something in and out, or I had a motion capture tracking system and I had an object in my hand, I could make an empty for that and attach an audio listener. And that's an audio listener now. You can only have one audio listener per scene. It warns you when you go to do it. It'll say you've got more than one audio listener. Which one do you want to delete? So I can't have it there, but the idea is that something listens to the audio and will feed that back into the mix that goes out to your speakers, your headphones. So I'll delete that out. So I've got my audio source. I might choose the type of roll-up I've got. So it's on logarithmic at the moment. I might make it linear, so it's completely straight. The minimum distance and maximum distance is the size of this sphere. So you can see that's minimum there. I'll put it at 0.5, and the maximum distance is 500. If I make it 5, you can now see the outside of that sphere. In fact, I might make it even smaller than that. I'm going to make it 3. So now my audio source will only be heard if my camera is inside that zone. So where's my camera? Is it miles away? It's miles away. There we go. Let's put this back to 0, 0, 0, so it's physically in the center. My camera is very close by. In fact, it's just outside. So in theory, if I move my camera into the audio source whilst it's playing, we should be able to hear the sound. So let's try that out. This is the first time we're going to hit the play button. Let's see what happens. Press play. You should load up the game view. You can just about hear the propeller. And as I move the camera in, it's not letting me do it. Why isn't it letting me do it? Let's try moving the audio source instead. There you go. Can you see that, how the listener on the chart on the right here is showing the listener getting higher and higher and closer to the camera. So the closer we get to the camera, the louder the noise of the propeller gets. Okay? Now what's more is that the listener can do pan and tilt, so it understands left and right. So if I'm on the right hand side of the camera, it should move to the right, and if I move to the left hand side of the camera, it should move to the left. I've only got one speaker connected, so I can't tell which way around that is. So if I, for instance, change my pan to be all to the left, it should only play on the right hand side or the left hand side. Anyway, that's the principle of that. So you can see how that works. You can also see how play mode works, because without play mode that just wouldn't work. You can't try out these things until you play. How fun's that? Spatial sound. And what's interesting about play mode, we'll come to this later, but if I move this out here and I've messed up this scene, fear not. When you come out of play, it puts everything back exactly as it was before you hit play. There's a blessing and a curse. I'll go into that a bit later. But that's audio. I dragged in a sound. There's more to it with mixing groups and things, but we'll come to that later on. But for basic training tutorial, this is all you need to know. That's how you create an audio source. So in the next lesson, which is the last one of this chapter, chapter 3, we're going to talk about the UI, user interface, and how we can start to construct our own UI. Okay.